The biggest barrier to you quitting isn't what you think. It's not the nicotine, it's your belief system, the one that keeps you from even starting to quit in the first place. In this video, I'm going to talk about 3 beliefs that almost all my clients hold before we start working together. They may be beliefs that you hold too, and they're going to keep you vaping or smoking for years or decades. I'm John from Always Be Quitting, and after 25 years of helping people quit, I can tell you that once you understand these 3 beliefs, quitting is going to be a lot easier for you. The first truth is this: you're already more ready than you realize. When I say that, it doesn't mean you're necessarily ready to set your quit date right now, but if you are, please do it. What it means is that wanting to quit and thinking about quitting is part of the quitting process. It's the way your brain prepares to make a change. One of my clients, Kate, put it perfectly when she said, "I think I was just in this place of getting ready to be ready." That's exactly what I'm talking about. Your brain might already be working on this problem, even when you don't realize it. The fact that you're watching this video right now, that's part of getting ready, even if you don't realize it. And if you end up watching it to the end, that's actually proof that you are getting ready to be ready, the way Kate said. Here are some signs that you might be more ready than you realize. You may have tried to quit before, and even if you failed, that's proof there was a time when you were ready. Maybe you've been thinking about quitting more lately, a lot of people have, or noticing some negative effects. Maybe when you buy smokes or vapes, you say to yourself, "I'm going to quit. I've got to quit." Which reminds me, if you've tried to quit before but it didn't stick, you might be making a few huge mistakes. I actually have a guide to them on my website called The 4 Critical Mistakes That Stop You from Quitting for Life. It's a great complement to what I'm talking about here. And if you can conquer those 4 critical mistakes, you've got a great shot at success. Now, let me share the second truth with you. But first, let me tell you about Catherine. She came to see me and was terrified that I was going to expect her to quit immediately. She said, "I was scared the minute I first met you. It was like someone was going to be on my tail and it had to happen today, and I didn't know if I was ready." Catherine had been trapped by the misconception that she had to be ready to commit to never vaping again for the rest of her life. And that felt overwhelming and fearful. Guess what is horrible for quitting? Overwhelming fear is horrible. Fear is horrible for a lot of things you want to accomplish in life. Fear is what keeps you paralyzed. Fear is why most people don't even try to quit. But instead of setting a quit date, I asked her one simple question. Can you go one day without vaping? Right now, you don't have to quit. Just see if you can go 24 hours. What I did was I made it a short-term thinking thing rather than this massive long-term commitment that she had in her head, the thing that she was afraid of. Did I want her to quit for life? Of course. But that was not where she was with quitting at that moment. The second truth is this: you can do something to start quitting today. That word "today" is so key. You don't have to be ready to set a quit date today. You just have to make a commitment to go forward and take an action. Many people think they need to reach some magical level of readiness before they can quit, and they don't move until they reach that magical level. But you can start the process today without being ready to quit forever. And I'm going to talk about some specific things that you can do later in that video. People often think that things have to be perfect in order to quit. Nothing could be further from the truth. People have been brainwashed into believing they must get the quit attempt perfect. They must have the perfect amount of readiness, the optimal amount of motivation, the ideal timing. Part of this comes from all the quitting content that you see online that promises step 1, step 2, step 3, throw in a bunch of willpower, and on the 7th day, you're cured. No wonder people believe that's how quitting happens. People see these rigid timelines and think, "I'm not disciplined enough for that," so they never even try. Worse, they don't even use a sensible system that adjusts for imperfection and is realistic about what quitting actually looks like. The third truth is this: successful quitting is messy, not perfect. Catherine embodied this perfectly. She took what she called 99% longer than everyone else. She stayed on the highest dose of nicotine patch for months. At one point, she felt so good about it that she took her patch off for a night and immediately went into withdrawal and put it back on. Did she fail? Not at all. She tried something which did not work for her. She listened to her body, adjusted her approach, and ultimately succeeded because she gave herself permission to quit imperfectly. Even Kate, who I mentioned earlier, who had tried quitting before, she actually was successful for 30 days. She went 30 days without cigarettes, and then she went back to smoking. Was that attempt a failure? No, it was practice, and it was her brain learning that quitting was possible. And she also learned a valuable lesson about not restarting, subject of another video. The truth is, quitting is sloppy. There are multiple pathways to becoming a non-smoker or non-vapor, and the right way is whatever works for your brain, your body, and your life situation. Real quitting is flexible. I know this from 25 years of working with smokers and vapors. It's also a fundamental part of how I work with private coaching clients, and it's what I build into my quitting communities and group coaching programs. Of course, you can get more information about those on alwaysbequitting.com. Now that you know these three truths, I want you to ask yourself, which of these beliefs have you been holding? Is it the first one? Have you been telling yourself, I'm not ready enough yet, when the truth is, you're way more ready than you realize? Or is it the second one? Have you been waiting for the magic moment to start, when the truth is, you can start doing something today, in this moment, as soon as you're done watching this? Third, are you trapped by quitting perfectionism, thinking that you need to get it right the first time and it needs to be perfect, when the truth is, successful quitting is messy? Can you accept messy? Let's hear where you stand on these. Drop a comment below and we'll keep the discussion going in the comments. Here's what happens to most people that watch my videos. I'll tell you. They say, wow, that's neat. That's a great idea, John. I should do that. And then guess what happens? They go about their day, forget about this video, and do nothing. Don't let that be you. That one day turns into decades of smoking or vaping. I really think you should grab that resource I mentioned, the 4 critical mistakes that stop you from quitting for life. That in itself is taking action about quitting today, like we talked about in Truth 2. You've got this. You are more ready than you think. And if you're ready to finally take action and start quitting, go to my website. Look into our group coaching and quitting community. If you want private coaching, that's available too. I'd love to work with you. I've got a ton of resources on Always Be Quitting that can lead you to quitting for the last time. The beliefs you hold about quitting will either ensure that you are successful or keep you stuck. There's no in between. My goal today was to get you to do one thing about quitting today. Why don't you start by reading my free guide? The link is in the description. My name is John. Always be quitting until you've quit for the last time.